Happy Monday, parents. Welcome to week number 5 of this crazy thing that we call distance learning. I know this is not what you signed up for, but I want you to know I appreciate everything you're doing to work with your child to continue what we started in first grade at Lake and to keep that going through the end of the school year. I know this is not ideal and that so many of you are doing this with more than one child. I know some of you are working in outside jobs during this time too, and I know it's hard and I know it can be overwhelming. Just know that I am here for you. If you have questions, if you're not sure about things, just message me. We'll get through this together. In looking at the work over the weekend that was turned in, I just want to clarify a few things. Please know that everything I've sent home are things that your child is familiar with. They're things that we do every week in class. I am not sending home new types of curriculum to use. Yes, there's some new concepts, absolutely, but it's not in a new setup. So I know that some of you are feeling overwhelmed by everything that came home. Please know, I sent you way more home than you needed. One big thing about Daily 5 that we use in our classroom and Daily 3 math choice is lots of choices. I wanted your student to have some choices. When they have a choice, they have more of a buy-in. So please know that I sent home way more than you needed. But I do want to ask that when you do your schooling for the week, that you follow this schedule. It will help you. Plus, I'm sending videos, especially for new math concepts, on the day that you're supposed to be doing that lesson. So stick with this. This will be your guide. This will help you to stay organized. Please make sure that you write your name, your child's name on this so I know whose is whose. This is very important to fill out as this is evidence that you're doing all these activities. A few of you did not send these back in. It's really important that these get sent back in when we turn in work. When we look at our schedule for today, today's your ELA focus. And the things that are in these boxes, they really are the must-dos. They're what I expect you to do with your child. But please understand, when I am working in the first grade classroom with your students, I'm not sitting next to them while they do all these activities. A lot of these activities, the ones I sent home, are things that they do independently at their desk. Yes, we read the stories together. Yes, we do the annotating together that I'll show you in just a second. But then they're writing the sentence independently. They're doing the worksheets independently after I've gone over the directions. Even in math, they're doing the work independently after I've read the directions. You do not have to sit with your child every second of when you're doing this. That would just be frustrating for you and for them. Now, the shared reading book, this is something we do in our classroom. We write in this book 2 days a week, which is what I'm asking you to do 2 days a week. Today's story is about animal dentists. Since we're talking about goods and services, this is going to be talking about a service. Please know that I read this story with the students. You could read it once to your child, and you could have your child read it with you one time. Then your child's going to do some circling, some underlining, and putting an asterisk by different things based on what's at the bottom of the page. Then, this is what I really want to talk about, is the writing part. You received a page that says shared reading book work for weeks 4 through 6. On this is the sentence frame that your child needs to use. On that sentence frame, I usually write the sentence frame on the board, and then the students copy that down into their book and then finish the sentence. If they don't copy it down and they just start writing, they're not writing in a complete sentence. They need to write in a complete sentence. They need to write the frame. Today's frame is, I would or would not, they have to make a choice, like this job because, and they have to finish the sentence. They need to start with an uppercase. They need to end in a period. What I want you to know about this is an independent writing activity. Once they get the frame, they are finishing the sentence. I do not expect every word to be spelled correctly. I don't expect you to sit there and tell them how to spell every word correctly, because that's actually not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to get their writing ideas from their head to the paper. In class, when they're doing this, this is during work on writing, during Daily 5, and some students are doing this and some are doing the other activities from Daily 5. I'm usually working one-on-one or in a small group with students. I'm not sitting with this group. I've gone over the directions with them, but then they're doing the writing themselves. They know that when they come to a word that they don't know how to spell, we have a procedure that we follow since the beginning of school. When we come to a word we don't know how to spell, we sound it out, we underline it, and we move on. They do not need to be asking you how to spell things. They need to sound it out, underline it, and move on. I know that they are not going to spell some things correctly, and I know that might drive some of you crazy, but the purpose of this is writing fluency. Yes, I want them to sound it out. I want them to be as close as they can, but I also want to see what they can do, not that mom and dad know how to spell for them. So please, let them write it. I know it's hard to watch sometimes, but let them do it. Please make sure they're writing their nicest writing. They're starting with capitals, ending with periods, and that they're writing that frame in there. The next thing you'll see is that you have it says 2 spelling pages. Whatever vowel pattern we're working with for the week, you're going to do 2 pages. But when you look at that packet, you're going to notice that there are a lot more pages than 2. I give you more pages so that your child can choose which ones they want to do. Maybe your child finishes quickly and they want to do more of them. That's fine. But I'm only expecting 4 of those pages per week. 2 for Monday, 2 for Thursday, for whatever spelling pattern we're working on. They're, again, familiar with this. Read over the directions with them, but then they should be able to do it on their own. I don't expect them to do every single sheet and turn it in. Just 4 for each week. Then you'll see reading, word work, high frequency words, 30 minutes. That's every day. Use this time for some read to self. Them reading. Use this time for their benchmark reading. Benchmark reading they must do 2 times a week. Their levelized stories that they're on, plus the spelling pattern we're working on. This is a great time for the Heidi songs too. They don't have to do the same thing for 30 minutes. You can break it up into chunks. They could practice their high frequency words for 10 minutes. They could do the listen to reading. They could do the Heidi songs. They could just read a book they have at home. That's what that time is. It's just for them to have some reading practice and working on those sight words. Math practice. That's working on those flashcards or the triangles that we worked on last week. It's time for them to have some practice with math. I am sending some extra worksheets home for that. You could use that for that time. They need to do 30 minutes of iReady math for the week. That is a must-do. iReady reading is not a must-do at this point because I want you doing the benchmark online component. But iReady math is a must-do for 30 minutes. Also, when it's on the math, which is Tuesdays and Fridays, do the pages that are assigned. It tells you the specific page. Now I know that we're not doing every page in that unit that we're on, but the ones I have assigned are the ones that go with the lessons that I really need them to do. The extra math sheets can be done during math practice. Some weeks you might see that I actually say a certain math worksheet, and then that's the one that's required. Again, you're not going to turn in every single paper done. These are the things that have to be done. Also, your PE. I know right now that it is beautiful outside and spring fever has happened. Believe me, I understand that. If you don't want to do the PE activities that we have, go ahead and go outside, ride a bike, play soccer, as long as you're social distancing. Do whatever you want outside to get some physical activity. Go for a walk. I noticed that some of my friends are doing some yard work, helping with chores in the garden. Those are all great PE activities too. Please know that grammar sheets I've listed on Friday, it says adjectives, and that's what it says on here. These are must-dos as well. Please know that your child needs to do this work themselves. I'm not having you do the work. I want them to do the work. Please make sure that they are doing their personal best writing, and remind them to put their names on everything. So many papers came without names. Please put names on their papers. They need to put the names on their papers. Again, have a great week. Thanks for coming alongside of us and making this year, finishing it out the best that we can. I hope that you're doing great. Please know I'm here for you if you have messages, comments, questions, you're confused, you're frustrated. I don't want this to be frustrating for you. I want to try and help you as much as possible. So please let me know. Again, have a great Monday. All right, bye.